All right. Let's see, we have one person. Not so bad. This is a kind of a surprise stream. I wasn't going to stream, but I can't do a stream on Friday, so I thought I'll do one today. I need to tie a fly, so I might as well stream it. So I suppose a lot more people will be watching this stream at a later time. So today what I'm going to do is, first of all, I presume everything is working and you can hear me. If not, it'll be just a big mess, but I think it's working. So what I'm going to tie today is something for the autumn time, for the fall time. Work great for pike, work great for muskie if you're a muskie fisherman. This is basically a double Buford. We all know the Buford, but this is a doubled one. So autumn time is usually a really good time, especially once you have the first frost. You start to have all that vegetation in the shallows that starts to decay and die. So lily pads, grass, all that sort of stuff. And all this vegetation basically die off, starts just to sink down, but they're not completely flat onto the bottom. And what's going to happen is that you're going to have off the bottom, you're going to have that layer of rotten vegetation. It's not compact, so there's still a lot of room for fish and food to move around in there. And a lot of the pike, especially at that time, around end of September, mid-September, end of September, October, depends where you live and how fast that vegetation dies. It's a good fly to kind of fish just over the vegetation because it's a very buoyant fly. You need to fish it with a very short leader and a little sink line, something like intermediate, fast intermediate, or up to a sink tree. I usually like to fish that one up to a fast sink tree. Lolo, salut, comment ça va? Comment va Lolo? J'espère que ça pêche pour toi. So, okay, I'm gonna start. Like I said, I'm not expecting too many to be watching today because it's unannounced. But like I said, I can't stream on Friday for the moment, so I am doing a quick one right now. So this one is going to be fairly simple. It's going to be feathers and bucktail. So we're going to use some schlappens. Alright, I'm going to use some orange one. That's going to create the tail. So usually I like to double them up. So as usual with schlappens, they usually have a curve. Okay, so make sure you put them either side of the hook just to get a nice movement in the water and doesn't get stuck to your fly. Not bad, c'est bien. Il y en a qui peuvent voyager, c'est bien. Lolo, t'as raison. Still stuck with no money here, so McManzip meat. So soon it'll be my turn, whenever I can get back to work. So 2 schlappens, 2 on each side. This is a very easy, fast fly to tie, uncomplicated, like I like all my flies, but they work. Okay, 2 other schlappens on the other side. Rub that up, nice and tight. Couple of lateral scales. Not going to go too heavy on flash, just a little bit, because this is going to be like basically subsurface. Down to maybe 1 meter down you fish this fly. You don't fish it too deep. so you don't need too much flash, and because it's a double buffered, this is going to push a lot of water. So just a couple of lateral scale, fairly simple. I'm going to move on to the bucktail. So this one I'm going to do yellow and tan. Fingers crossed, yellow, fingers crossed, or I'm changing career. At that stage it's getting long and very long. Alright, start with the bucktail. Spin it all the way around the hook. Now, because we're going to make two nice thick buffered heads on these, just don't overdo it with the bucktail. I'm going to do two sparse layer of yellow, and then we're going to hit the head, start building the first head. So one layer, and straight in front put a second one. A little bit shorter, this one, just to get a bit of a profile. There you go, nothing complicated. Now I'll start the first head. So this one obviously is going to be a little bit smaller than the main one at the front, but that's just for make it nice and buoyant. So we're going to start with, if you can, get the bucktail at the bottom, at the base of your tail. That's the more hollow one. Make sure you clean it well, get rid of all the fluffy fibers in it. Nice straight cut. I'm going to tie it about halfway, or maybe 1/3, 2/3. I'm not going to tie it right at the end. I'm going to tie it a little bit back, just to have a little bit of a flare. We can start building that head. A couple of loose wraps, and push that all around. And pack it up a little bit. And then we're going to put a little bit more just at the front, just to finish up that head. And the first one doesn't have to be too big. It's just to help it to be a little bit buoyant and make it float over all that rotten vegetation for the autumn. A lot of people, once all these lily pads have disappeared, usually they're not interested fishing in the shadows, but you'd be surprised how many pike are still holding in these areas. Make sure the head is nice, round and even. You get the right amount of hair all around. That's basically the back end. I'm going to trim that head with finish and give it a little trim. Hook wise, I didn't talk about the hook. What I'm using for the tail, for the back, I'm using a Sakuma 550 Phantom in 4-0. Nice light and strong hook. I like the shape of them. Nice little inward point. Good hook, nice and light. No problem to report yet on these hooks. Alright, this is our back end then. Just a little Buford head, not too big, schlappen, and 2 rows of bucktail. Front, we're going to go with a 6-knot Sakuma Menta Extra as usual. Now, because it's such a buoyant fly, it's really visual, especially when you fish it. Usually you always keep an eye contact with that fly, you're always able to see it. That's why usually I like to put the lateral line on the side and on the top as well, so it reflects light and it helps not only the pike to see it but yourself as well. So good visual fly. Old cabbage patch as well, you can fish on top of the old cabbage patch as well. Ah, Lolo, you're too good, man. Thank you, buddy. There was no need, but it's much appreciated. Thank you, buddy. Okay, now I'm going to link that up. Wire. I'm going to use 30-pound bleeding wire. No need to complicate things. All right. Pinch the wire like that. You have that fly sitting nice at the end. It's a big bulky fly, but I mean it's fairly light if you tie it properly. Now I like to have the hook sitting, the back hook sitting a little bit further away than other flies on this one. I'm going to put 3 big beads. I set it about that far. So make sure it's all set before you start tying. That's about okay. Bring that thread back. Put it back a little bit. No point tying a double hook fly and have it too close to the front hook. I like to keep a bit of a distance. I'm going to wrap this too. I'm going to bring them below. Wrap them back the other side, pinch them, and make things easier. Especially with the stainless steel. So basically wrap on top. Bring the little 2 tag ends underneath or on the side, and then secure it. And like that, you'll have no risk of that fly coming undone. Don't be cheap on the thread there. Important to have that really secure. Now the important thing with these flies is regularly check the connection, check the wire, especially if you're after catching a few big fish. But usually they last a long time, so if they go, usually it's at the back there, at the connection with the back hook. I put a good layer of thread and we're going to glue that up. Make sure it doesn't come off. to dry a bit. And I'll start again. Back to the yellow. I do two layers of yellow. Put a few more schlappens in there, just a couple, just for that bit of light and color in it, a bit of contrast, and we're going to top it up with a couple of lateral scale as well. Merci Lolo pour la vida. À l'aise. Qu'on se revoie bientôt au show. Ça manque. Yeah. Alright. Yellow bucktail. Back to the yellow. Now because it's fairly buoyant, you're able to fish that fairly slow. Don't need to fish it too fast. Like I say, I really like using that one for over all that dead winter vegetation, autumn vegetation. We don't want to overlap too much onto that buffered head, okay? We want to give it a little bit of room at the back. This has to be fairly airy. So for this we are gonna reverse tie, just to give it room at the back. So that bucktail that we're going to tie now is not going to come and stop the swim of that fly. Three loose wrap. Push it all around. Make sure it's good and even. You have a nice proportion of bucktail all around. Push that back. Take your time. Make sure that you have all that sitting properly. Build a dam of thread in front. That's it, like that. That's nice and open, and you have a bit of room for the back to swing without getting everything jammed. And bring the thread forward a little bit. I put a normal layer now. I'll reverse tie that one too. All right, now splash of color could represent pectoral fins, gills, anything like that. I'm going to put a couple of schlappen. I'm going to tie them a little bit short. Now I'm going to tie them full length, just for a little splash of color at the front. One on each side. One, two. Lateral scale. I'm going to get 2. is I'm going to put them on the top, slightly to the side. Like I said, that kind of helps me to see the fly, especially if I don't fish it too deep. Kind of reflects the light for me, so it's kind of visual. I see it a long way out. Kind of give you an idea, especially if you have that rotten vegetation, you want to be fishing just over it. So it gives you a little idea where your fly is fishing. And usually these big girls are just sitting that underneath all these rotten lily pads. Great to see them coming back up. Like, all right, now we're going to start the head. Make a much bigger head now. I'll go back with the tan bucktail. Usual 1/3, 2/3 about, roughly. Make sure it goes all around. Flare it up. Push it back. That's a big head, but it's not packed. That's important. Do not pack it. It's not a deer hair bug or a Dalberg diver type of fly. It's a Buford. It's a lightly sparse Buford. We just want accomplished buoyancy and pushing a lot of water. Now, usually I like to finish the head, go with the top at the back of the bucktail there. It's usually a little bit darker. It's really buoyant. It's really hollow hair there. The only thing, it contains a lot more of them fluffy fibers in it, so make sure you clean it properly, get rid of all this unwanted hair, and it give you a nice color change between the darker and the lighter tan. Whatever color you use, it usually gives you that nice gradual change. Just aesthetic, like. All right, I think we can put one tiny one at the front and we're done. We're going to trim that. And we have a big double Buford for this fall, or this autumn, wherever side of the pond you come from. Push that around, flare it up, and we're done. Again, you see it's not a very complicated fly. They never need to be. Alright, and now all we need to do is trim that. So you can trim it either way. You like to trim it with a profile, kind of a cone shape if you want. You can trim it flat. You can leave it like that. I like to trim it just kind of flat to get a nice round head. So that usually comes with the more you will do these flies, the easier it will get. Try to keep a uniform shape all around. Not easy, but especially the first few you tie. flare it up just at the back and start rising the scissor. So I'm doing a straight cut here at the front, and then I'm rising just at the back, bringing the scissors from being parallel to the hook shank, and then at the back I'm going to start bringing it back up. So there you go, simple. Nice big bulky head, light body. Again, you see the reverse tying at the back before the beads, just to give plenty of room for that back end to swing. So that's basically it. That's basically how I tie my double Buford. Because these fish are going to start feeding heavily for the winter, so usually a bigger fly is a lot. That's the time to fish big flies anyway. So big flies, big lures. End of September, October, November. These are the time. So sit on this cam. See through. But that's it, guys. Quick stream. Sorry I didn't advertise that one ahead, but this is the time I have now, so I just do one quickly like that. Hope you guys enjoy it. Watch it again. That's basically double Buford. I'll take a couple of pictures of this one with more details. I'll stick them on the Instagram. You can have a better look. But that's the idea anyway. So once all that vegetation start to rot away, good fly to fish on top. Slow sinking, super slow sinking. But that again depends on the amount of bucktail and how tight you make these heads. So I like it to kind of float and push it down with a sink head or a sink line and a really short leader. There you go, dead vegetation fly. Alright guys, thanks for watching, for the one that are live with me at the moment. Merci Flo. Merci Lolo, merci pour la donation, c'était toujours là live. Merci. I'll see you guys very soon. I'm not sure when I'll be making a live stream, but I will be making one. But whenever I get the need to tie a fly, I will do this kind of a surprised stream. I wasn't even sure I was going to tie a fly today, but I had a few minutes there and I said I'm going to tie a fly, so I might as well stream it because I'm starting to fill the big box for the winter and the autumn. So thank you very much guys. I'll see you next time, and thanks Lolo, you're the best. I'll see you soon, buddy. Say hello to the missus as well. Hello to the bro. Hello to everyone. Love you guys. Take care. And I'll see you whenever I'll see you. Whatever. So, thanks again, guys. See you soon. Bye.